WWE Raw kicks off with Bobby Lashley and MVP coming out, and MVP says everyone has to respect Lashley for what he did last week, beating Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens and Big E in separate singles matches. Then Big E comes out and says Lashley had to cheat because MVP hit E with his cane. Then Lashley says MVP can beat you right now and leaves MVP and E in the ring, but then Kevin Owens and Seth attack Lashley from behind, and E helps Lashley fight off Owens and Seth. Bianca Belair versus Doudrop, and Bianca wins with the KOD. Finn Balor versus Austin Theory, and Balor wins with the coup de grace. The Miz is out for Miz TV, and his guests are AJ Styles and Omos, and Miz points out that AJ and Omos have had some tension lately, and AJ says what type of man is Miz to hold his wife in front of him while another man tries to attack, and Miz says AJ is deflecting, and that Omos told him AJ is holding him back. Then Rey and his son Dominic Mysterio come out to have a tag match against AJ and Omos, and during the match AJ goes to tag Omos, and Omos looks away, and Rey rolls up AJ for the win. After the match, AJ calls Omos a piece of trash, and Omos pushes AJ, then AJ starts swinging on Omos, but Omos hits AJ with an overhead press slam, and Omos says next time you see me it will be a match against you. Randy Orton versus Chad Gable with Otis in his corner, and Randy wins with an RKO. After the match, Randy goes to hit an RKO on Otis 3 times, but Otis pushes Randy off every time. Damian Priest versus Dolph Ziggler with Robert Roode in his corner. During the match, Roode trips Priest over, and Priest leaves the ring to beat up Roode, but gets counted out, so Ziggler wins. Austin Theory attacks Finn Balor backstage, then Theory goes to Vince McMahon's office and tells Vince what he did, and Vince says you still lost the match, and maybe I should fire you. Then he says he especially enjoys firing people just before the holidays, it gives him a warm feeling in his stomach, and he makes Theory versus Balor in a rematch for next week. Then Vince erases whatever he had written on his notepad and blows the bits onto Theory and says ho ho ho. Edge is out for his talk show, The Cutting Edge, and his guest is Maurice. And Maurice says she wants a thank you from The Miz because she does everything and looks after the kids, and the crowd boos, and Edge says cut the act, nobody's buying this, and Edge thinks Miz is going to attack him. Then Miz's song starts, and Edge stands up, but Miz comes from behind and drops Edge with a shipbuster. Zelina Vega versus Rhea Ripley, and Ripley wins with the Riptide. Liv Morgan comes out and shows that during the weekend, Liv flew to Becky Lynch's gym where she trains and attacked a woman with orange hair with a kendo stick, but it wasn't Becky, and Becky was behind Liv, and they fight, and Becky leaves because Liv is smacking her with a kendo stick, and Liv says that day one she'll break Becky's face and become the new Raw Women's Champion. Then Becky comes out and says Liv got lucky, but luck runs out, and Liv wants to fight now, but Becky says you have a kendo stick, and Liv says this is for you, and throws the kendo stick to Becky. And Becky says she has a private jet to catch and leaves. Bobby Lashley and Big E versus Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins in the main event, and Lashley wins with a spear on Owens, but as the match finishes, Rollins stomps Lashley, then stomps Lashley again on the steel stairs, and Owens and Rollins shake hands and hug. We'll see you next week for the next Rush Raw review.